A shrill alarm split the pre-dawn stillness as blue lights danced across rain-slick pavement. Paramedic Ahmed, 26, exhaled a steadying breath behind his mask and grasped the gurney rail. "Code 3 down," he murmured into the radio, voice calm. His partner followed his lead, voice taut but unwavering. They sprinted toward the collapsed man, slumped beside a curb under a flickering street lamp. The street pulsed with distant sirens, and curious onlookers huddled beneath umbrellas. Rain beads clung to the patient's forehead, tracing rivulets along his skin. Ahmed knelt, fingers probing for a pulse. None answered. "Start compressions," he instructed, voice low but insistent, as the night crashed around him. Each compression drove water-slick gloves into the chest, rhythm falling into a relentless cadence. His partner read vitals, voice clipped. Ahmed's jaw tightened as he delivered rescue breaths. Lightning flashed overhead, illuminating the patient's pale face. Time warped into compressed seconds where only breath and chest rise mattered. "Adrenaline now," Ahmed said, syringe poised. The chance was fleeting. Within the storm's howl, a faint heartbeat returned, a fragile promise. Ahmed exhaled, shoulders slumping as he whispered, "Hold on." The ambulance's doors thudded, closed as Ahmed toggled sirens to full volume. Inside, fluorescent light flickered against the patient's drawn features. Ahmed clamped an oxygen mask over the man's face while the monitor beeped in measured urgency. "Breathe," he said, voice soft and steady. The patient's eyes fluttered open, confusion and pain mingling in a haze. Ahmed offered his gloved hand. The man grasped it, knuckles white. "You saved me?" he croaked. Rainwater dripped down Ahmed's collar as he secured an IV line. Outside, the night lunged forward in streaks of red and blue. Ahmed's partner adjusted the stretcher, nodding. "Vitals stabilizing," she reported. Ahmed allowed himself a brief smile. The patient's breathing deepened. In that shallow lull, questions churned. Who was this man? And why had fate placed him here? Sarah, the ER nurse, met them as the gurney rolled into the bright chaos of triage. Fluorescent beams sliced through curtained bays and humming monitors. Ahmed relayed vital signs in clipped report. Pulse returned, GCS 14, minor abrasions. Sarah's brow furrowed as she examined the patient's charts. He winced when she palpated his side. "You're lucky," she said. "Internal bleeding suspected. Cut now." Ahmed held the patient's hand as staff swarmed. The man's gaze locked on Ahmed's, gratitude and fear swirling. Lightning flashed beyond the window, shadows dancing over white-tiled floors. In that sterile whirlwind, Ahmed felt both relief and anticipation. This patient's story was far from over. In the hushed corridor beyond the ER, Ahmed sank onto a vinyl bench, blood-soaked gloves discarded. Sarah joined him, damp hair clinging to her forehead. "He's stable," she said softly. But that CT showed a splenic laceration. Ahmed exhaled, shoulder muscles loosening. "Will he need surgery?" Sarah's expression softened. "Yes, but he'll live." Rain tapped the window as dawn approached, orange fingers of sunrise piercing gray clouds. The ED's frenetic hum receded to distant echoes. Ahmed closed his eyes for a heartbeat, mind replaying every compression, every breath. In that pause, he realized the depth of his own trembling heart. Later, Ahmed found himself outside the ICU doors, hands clasped behind his back. He peered through the small window at the patient resting, ventilator hissing softly. A surgeon emerged, tall, composed, mid-40s, whose eyes met Ahmed's with quiet acknowledgement. "You did well," she said, her voice measured but warm. Ahmed blinked. The surgeon paused, then removed her cap, revealing the patient's likeness in her features. "I'm Dr. Khan," she added. "You saved me once, now I'll repay the favor." Ahmed's breath caught as he absorbed her words. The rain had stopped, but outside, sunlight finally broke through low clouds. Early morning sunlight filtered through half-drawn curtains in the hospital lounge, casting gold stripes across Ahmed's fatigued features. He cradled a lukewarm cup of coffee, steam curling upward as his thoughts circled the night's rescue. His phone buzzed with a single message, CT key. Clear? Prep or? The words settled heavy in his chest. He rose, uniform crisp, but stained with yesterday's urgency, and headed toward the operating suite. Hallway lights hummed overhead, their sterile glow reflecting on polished linoleum. Each step echoed, reminding him of the fragile life days before. Memories surfaced of rain-slick pavement, the patient's chest rising again under his hands. He paused at the OR door, inhaled deliberately, and entered. The room brimmed with focused energy, nurses poised, machines humming, Dr. Khan and scrub cap poring over images. Ahmed approached quietly. "Ready when you are," he said, voice steady despite pounding heart. Dr. Khan nodded, eyes sharp. "Let's give him a future." Every word carried the weight of survival and a promise of rebirth. Inside the OR, steel instruments gleamed under cold surgical lights. Dr. Khan, mid-40s, donned gloves with practiced precision as Ahmed readied an IV line at the bedside. The patient lay draped in blue, vitals steady but guarded on the monitor. Beads of sweat formed on Ahmed's brow as he adjusted the flow rate. Dr. Khan leaned over the patient's side, voice calm. Scalpel. The incision was swift, measured, blood welled, instruments passed in silent choreography. Ahmed monitored the anesthetic depth, his fingers deft. Outside, monitors chirped. Inside, time slowed to each measured breath. Dr. Khan's gaze flicked to Ahmed, acknowledgement passing between them like unspoken respect. The damaged spleen emerged beneath a wash of red. "Clamp here," she instructed. Ahmed's hand flicked into motion, tension coiling and releasing in precise movement. Moments later, the organ was secured. A gasp of relief rippled through the room. Dr. Khan exhaled. Hell lived to train others. Post-op recovery glowed in soft ambient light as the patient rested, ventilator breathing in gentle rhythm. Ahmed hovered at his side, chart in hand, noting every improving parameter. Dr. Khan entered, fatigue etched around her eyes, but pride warmed her smile. "He's stable," she said quietly. The patient's fingers twitched, and Ahmed offered his own. In that clasp, unspoken gratitude bloomed. Outside the window, clouds parted to reveal a pale morning sky. Ahmed exhaled, tension easing from his shoulders. He scribbled notes, recording the night's timetable. Code called at 4:03 a.m. or at 6:45. Numbers on the page became testament to life reclaimed. Dr. Khan studied the chart, then regarded Ahmed with a solemn nod. "You have skill," she observed. His chest tightened. "I learned from you." They shared a brief laugh, the first warmth since dawn. In that moment, mentor and student stood on equal ground. Later, in a sunlit break room, adorned with motivational posters, Ahmed cradled another coffee, while Dr. Khan reviewed scans on a tablet. Their conversation wove between clinical details and personal histories. She recounted her own first code, how panic almost cost a life. Ahmed's eyes shone with empathy as he shared the moment he resolved never to flinch again. Laughter rippled through the room, tension dissolving. Through the window, hospital gardens bloomed under soft morning drizzle, petals glistening. Dr. Khan tapped the screen. "You've got instincts," she said. Ahmed shrugged, modest. "I've had a great teacher." A nurse peeked in, reminding them of rounds. They exchanged a knowing glance. "Let's go," Dr. Khan said with gentle authority. Ahmed rose, resolve renewed. Together, they stepped into the ward, ready for the next challenge. On the ward's bright floor, Ahmed and Dr. Khan made their rounds. Each door they opened revealed a story. A child clutching a teddy bear, an elderly woman smiling through oxygen tubes. Ahmed paused at one room, memory tugging him back to the alley where rain fell in torrents. He steadied himself, then knocked gently. Inside lay his patient, eyes alert and voice stronger. The man sat up as they entered. "Thank you," he said, voice rich with gratitude. Ahmed's heart swelled. Dr. Khan offered discharge instructions to the man in calm, clear detail. Outside, sunlight spilled down the corridor like promise. As they left, Ahmed glanced back at the patient's door number 11. A quiet pride settled in him. This was why he raced into the storm, to be the calm within chaos, and to give life its next chapter. Sunlight slanted through the fire station's garage doors as shift change hummed with footsteps and radio chatter. Ahmed, 26, leaned against a polished engine, coffee in hand, muscles unwinding from weeks of night calls. His gaze drifted to the corridor where Dr. Khan's patient, now walking steadily, approached, dressed in civilian clothes that looked out of place amid helmets and jackets. The man's stride was confident, posture straight as though he'd reclaimed life itself. Ahmed straightened, heart quickening at the familiar face he'd fought to save. The patient paused before him, eyes bright with gratitude and something else, determination. "Ahmed," he said, voice warm. "I came to say thank you, and to ask something." Ahmed offered a steady nod, masking surprise. The man produced a slim card, an invitation to observe medical rounds at City General. "I want to learn how you saved me," he added softly. In that moment, survivor and savior stood on equal ground, bound by a shared journey through life and death. Later that morning, Ahmed stood by the radio console, checking equipment logs, when a familiar voice crackled over the PA. "Station 1. This is City General. Patient Khan requesting a meet and greet." Heads turned as the man strode through the garage, scrub cap in hand and medical student ID around his neck. Ahmed's partner offered him a salute. He returned it with a grin. The man approached Ahmed's side, placing a hand on his shoulder. "I've enrolled in med school," he announced, eyes shining. "I owe this second chance to you and Dr. Khan." Ahmed's chest tightened. The man extended a trembling hand. "Teach me to be this calm in chaos." Behind them, the station door rattled in a gentle breeze. In that charged silence, hope and purpose intertwined. That afternoon, Ahmed entered the hospital lecture hall, where Dr. Khan lectured on emergency interventions. Rows of seats filled with eager students, their eyes reflecting slide images of CPR sequences. At the podium, Dr. Khan introduced a guest, her former patient turned aspiring medic. Applause rippled as he joined her. From the back row, Ahmed slipped in quietly, uniform still bearing the station patch. He watched as the man recounted his rescue, voice steady, passion shining in each word. When slides showed the rain-soaked pavement and gloved hands, Ahmed felt time replay in his chest. Afterward, the two shared a glance across the room. Mentor, student, savior, and survivor converging under spotlight and purpose. Weeks later, Ahmed crossed the marble lobby of City General Hospital, summoned by a note left at the station. He found patient Khan scrubbing into surgery, under Dr. Khan's supervision. Sterile gowns and masks rendered them equals in white light. The student paused as Ahmed entered, mask still covering half his face. Their eyes met. Gratitude and resolve radiated between them. The student returned to her breathing tube insertion under Dr. Khan's calm direction, then stepped aside to show Ahmed. "Notice wrist placement," Dr. Khan said, voice soft yet firm. Ahmed nodded appreciatively, absorbing her teaching. In that bright surgical theater, savior and saved became colleagues in learning, each shaped by the other's courage. That evening, Ahmed and Dr. Khan met the student in the hospital courtyard, olive trees rustling under a peach-hued sky. The student held a small cake, celebrating my first anatomy exam pass, he announced, eyes bright. Ahmed smiled, warmth flooding his chest. Dr. Khan offered a calming nod. The three shared cake under lanterns, laughter mingling with night breezes. The student placed cake on a low table and turned to Ahmed. "You brought me back to life," he said quietly. "Now I'll bring others back." Ahmed's throat tightened. He raised his cup in toast. "To second chances," he said. "He said." Dr. Khan echoed. "And to those who train to save them." Under twilight's closing, their silhouettes stood united, EMT, surgeon, and surgeon in training, bound by rescue and renewal. Late afternoon light filtered through the IQ's frosted windows as Ahmed taped a fresh bandage on a patient's arm. A nurse hurried past, whispering in Dr. Khan's ear. The surgeon's face, calm moments before, went ashen. She approached Ahmed at the station, voice low. "That man you saved. He's my son." Ahmed froze, heart pounding. He felt the weight of every compression. Every breath he delivered collided with this stunning revelation. His gaze flicked to the corridor where patient Khan lay recovering, unaware of the shock rippling through the room. Dr. Khan's hands trembled as she relayed her story. She'd given birth and lost her child in the same hospital 20 years ago. The boy's name matched. Ahmed's mind raced back to that pre-dawn rescue. Had he been saving her son all along? Silence stretched as memories and heartbeats intertwined. In that hushed moment, mentor and savior faced a truth that rewrote their bond and reshaped every promise made under emergency lights. Ahmed stepped into the corridor, chest tight as he approached patient Khan's room. Through the small window, he saw Dr. Khan standing at the bedside, hand resting on the man's arm. The patient's eyes met Ahmed's, confusion flickering. Ahmed gestured Dr. Khan aside. "Your son," he began, voice gentle. She closed her eyes, swallowing grief and hope. "I'll need proof," she said softly. Ahmed's throat tightened as he produced the hospital band he'd placed on the patient's wrist minutes after rescue. It bore the birth date the surgeon had recorded 2 decades ago. Dr. Khan's breath caught. Outside, the corridor lights hummed their steady rhythm. The world felt suspended. Patient Khan stirred, eyes fluttering open. Ahmed and Dr. Khan exchanged a glance heavy with unspoken fear and longing. In that charged hush, the weight of life loss and reunion pressed upon them. Inside the private recovery suite, monitors beeped softly as sunlight waned. Ahmed and Dr. Khan stood before a seated patient Khan, whose gaze flickered between them. Dr. Khan's voice trembled. "I gave you up to save your life. My choices haunted me every day." The man's jaw clenched, brows drawing together. "Why now?" he asked, voice shaking. Ahmed placed a consoling hand on his shoulder. "Because truth demands its time," Dr. Khan replied, eyes glistening. A hush fell as the man processed the revelation that the surgeon who saved his life had also given him away. His fists tightened in his lap. Outside, the city's evening lights twinkled, indifferent. Within those walls, the fragile threads of trust strained. Ahmed realized that rescue could come in many forms, yet the deepest wounds lay within hearts, waiting to be healed. Night had fallen when Ahmed guided Dr. Khan and her son to the hospital rooftop garden. Lanterns glowed among sculpted hedges, white petals drifting on a light breeze. The man paced, voice tight, "You could have found me sooner." Dr. Khan's shoulders sagged. "I was too afraid." Ahmed watched them, heart aching. He stepped forward. "Fear doesn't erase love," he said softly. The two turned to him. The man's eyes, silvered with tears, met his. "Why did you stay?" Dr. Khan asked with quiet intensity. Ahmed's gaze steadied. "Because every life we save matters, no matter the cost." In that calm garden under midnight stars, past regrets trembled into possibility. A fragile truce formed as mother and son exchanged a tentative embrace, bathed in lantern light and hope. Dawn broke over the city as Ahmed arrived first in the courtyard. Dr. Khan followed, her son at her side. They held steaming cups of tea, breath visible in the cool air. Patient Khan studied the rising sun, shoulders relaxed. Dr. Khan looked to Ahmed. "Thank you," she said, voice steady. He nodded. "You taught me rescue," he added, turning to her son. "Now you have the courage to seek truth." The man smiled, a quiet strength in his gaze. Sunlight bathed them in gold, erasing night's shadows. In that gentle morning hush, broken bonds began to heal. Ahmed realized that some rescues went beyond CPR and surgery. They were acts of honesty and forgiveness. As they walked toward the hospital entrance, hope rose with the sun, forging a new chapter for savior, surgeon, and son, united by love, reclaimed. Late afternoon, light slanted across the paramedic training room as Ahmed prepared a demonstration mannequin for airway management. Rows of recruits in Navy uniforms watched intently. His gloved hands moved with practiced precision, jaw set. "Remember," he said, voice steady, "control your panic, let technique guide you." Each word landed in the hush. He demonstrated jaw thrust and mask seal, eyes meeting each trainee. Behind him, a projection displayed footage of that rain-soaked night when he first pressed chest and saved a life. He paused, recalling adrenaline and doubt. Then he pressed on, instructing on tube insertion and suction. The recruits followed his lead, breath synchronized with his calm cadence. As they finished, applause rippled across the room. Ahmed exhaled, heart steady. In that space, chaos had given way to teaching, and the calm he'd wielded under floodlights now shone through mentorship. That evening, Ahmed joined Dr. Khan and her son in the hospital library's quiet alcove. Leather chairs and oak shelves formed a scholarly hush. Ahmed opened a thick textbook on advanced life support, thumbs marking pages. The student, now confident, asked precise questions about cardiac rhythms. Dr. Khan offered clarifications, her voice rich with pride. Ahmed noted the student's eagerness, recalling his own early doubts. Overhead, lamps cast warm pools of light on open pages. Outside, a breeze stirred the tall windows, carrying distant city hum. For a moment, mentor, student, and rescuer sat united in pursuit of knowledge. Ahmed closed the book gently. "Tomorrow," he said, "we practice under stress." Patient Khan nodded, determination in his gaze. Pre-dawn drills began in the station's garage, engine silent beneath pale sky. Ahmed paced in front of two ambulances as recruits strapped on gear. He raised his voice. "Scenario, multi-casualty accident on wet road. You lead." The student, Dr. Khan's son, stepped forward, voice steady. Ahmed watched as the student directed triage, assigned tasks. Rain began to patter on the open doors, echoing that first rescue. Under dim mercury lights, recruits moved with controlled urgency. Ahmed observed each decision, nodding approval when the student assessed airway priorities. After 10 minutes, the scenario ended. Ahmed blew his whistle. "Excellent command," he said, pride warming his tone. The student's shoulders relaxed, rain-damp hair clinging to his forehead. In that dawn chill, chaos was rehearsed and conquered. Mid-morning, Ahmed escorted Patient Khan into the bustling ED for advanced simulations. The student donned gloves and stethoscope with confidence. Ahmed called out vitals, BBP 6040, irregular rhythm. The student knelt, palms steady on the mannequin's chest, initiating compressions. Around them, alarms chirped and nurses observed. Dr. Khan monitored from the control room behind glass, giving pointers over intercom. The student paused, repositioned hands, sealed the airway mask. Each correction from Ahmed sharpened his technique. After 3 minutes, the mannequin's monitor displayed a stable rhythm. Applause broke out. The student's eyes shone with achievement. Ahmed extended a hand. "You've earned this." The ED's hum returned, but for a moment, triumph resonated louder than machines. Afternoon sun warmed the courtyard where Ahmed and Dr. Khan observed their student run through written evaluations. Pages strewn across a stone bench, he scribbled answers furiously, brow furrowed. Ahmed offered a nod of encouragement. The student paused, closed the folder, and approached. Dr. Khan read aloud. Final score, 98%. His lips curved into a triumphant grin. He looked from her to Ahmed. "I couldn't have done this without you both." Ahmed's chest swelled with quiet pride. Dr. Khan placed a hand on her son's shoulder. Together, they walked toward the station's bay doors as sunlight faded to gold. In that closing hour, the cycle closed. Trainee became rescuer, rescued became teacher, and every life saved propelled another forward. A pre-dawn chill clung to the fire station's apron as Ahmed reviewed call logs on his tablet under pale LED lights. The garage doors loomed closed, silent beneath a steel-gray sky, streaked with the first hints of sunrise. He tapped the screen at entry 42, recalling the multi-casualty drill he led. His partner Marisol arrived, steaming coffee in hand, breath misting in the cool air. "Ready for today's field exercise?" she asked, voice low. Ahmed nodded, eyes steady. "We'll embed with the trauma team at City General." The weight of responsibility settled in his chest like a familiar companion. Outside, a lone street lamp flickered as a distant thunder rumbled. Marisol glanced skyward. "Storm front's coming." Ahmed closed the tablet, resolve firm. Then, let's be the calm in that storm. As they stepped toward the bay doors, the world beyond waited, its chaos and its lives resting on their steady hands and unwavering hearts. Minutes later, an emergency call crackled through. Multi-vehicle collision, injuries reported. The bay doors roared open to reveal rain-slick pavement under a gathering storm. Ahmed slid into the passenger seat as Marisol fired up the engine. Wind whipped rain against the windshield in rhythmic drumming. "Ita, 2 minutes," Marisol said, voice steady over wipers. Ahmed strapped his gear, heart rate rising and falling in practiced control. He stared ahead, breathing even. Each drop blurred the world outside into streaks of motion and color. Inside, monitors and radios hummed. He closed his eyes for a heartbeat, picturing drills pass. Then he opened them, determination like armor. "Let's save some lives," he murmured. The ambulance surged forward into darkness, blue lights dancing through sheets of rain. The collision scene lay under slate-gray skies. 2 cars mangled, metal twisted like origami. Bystanders huddled beneath umbrellas as emergency crews formed a human chain amid flashing lights. Ahmed leaped from the ambulance, rain soaking his uniform instantly. He assessed the first victim, a teenage girl kneeling beside her crush-dented car. She whimpered, clutching her leg. "Stay still," he said, voice calm but urgent. Rain dripped from his cap onto her forehead. He slipped on nitrile gloves, fingers deft as he stabilized her limb. Marisol arrived with a trauma bag. He directed her. Each movement cut through the chaos. Thunder cracked overhead. Ahmed's eyes scanned for the next casualty. The world narrowed to breath, pulse, and the promise of care under the unrelenting storm. Under the shelter of an overturned canopy, Ahmed worked on the girl's leg as paramedics lifted another patient from a crushed sedan. His voice remained soft as he explained each sensation. "You'll feel pressure, not pain." The girl nodded through tears. Around them, radios crackled orders and distant sirens joined the storm's percussion. Ahmed's gloves slipped on rain-slick fabric as he applied a makeshift splint, his fingers steady. He looked up to see Dr. Khan and her now fully trained student arriving in scrubs, offering sterile blankets. "Need a hand?" Dr. Khan asked. Ahmed handed her gauze without hesitation. Together, they formed a seamless triage team, EMT, surgeon, and surgeon in training, united by past rescues and the present urgency. By sunrise, the storm had passed, leaving the scene eerily still. Ahmed and his team loaded victims into ambulances as mutual relief rippled through exhausted survivors. The teenage girl offered Ahmed a trembling smile as her friends hugged her. Dr. Khan and her son stood at the edge, watching with pride. Ahmed wiped rain and sweat from his brow, chest rising and falling in steady rhythm. He approached them. Dr. Khan's son shook his hand firmly. "You taught me calm," he said. Ahmed nodded. "Today we all learned it." The rising sun broke through clouds, golden shafts illuminating the wreckage, and the people rebuilding their lives. In that quiet dawn, the legacy of rescue stretched forward, each calm hand guiding the next through chaos into hope. A week later, dawn light filtered through the fire station's training bay, illuminating dust motes in golden shafts. Ahmed stood before a wall-mounted screen displaying citywide emergency call data. Da da. His gaze traced patterns of response, times and incident locations, each point representing a life at risk. Marisol entered carrying a tablet. "You've been at this for hours," she observed gently. Ahmed exhaled, shoulder tension easing. "I'm building a proposal for integrated EMT surgical teams," he replied, voice steady. He tapped the screen, highlighting areas where surgical consults could reduce mortality. Outside, the station's engines idled softly. Ahmed's phone buzzed with an image. Patient Khan, now in full surgeon's whites, scrub cap off, smiling beside a child on crutches. The message read, "Teaching pediatric rotations." "Thank you." Ahmed allowed himself a small smile. In that hush before shift change, rescuer and saved had become partners in shaping the future of emergency care. That afternoon, Ahmed and Dr. Khan convened in a sleek conference room at City General. Floor-to-ceiling windows looked over the city skyline, clouds drifting lazily. Ahmed laid out charts on a glass table. Response intervals, patient outcomes, cost projection. Dr. Khan studied them, fingers steepled. "This could revolutionize trauma care," she said quietly. Ahmed nodded, breath even. "Paired EMT surgeon rapid deployment units," he summarized. Across the table, patient Khan scribbled notes, his surgeon's gaze sharp. He looked up. "Let's pilot this on weekends," he offered. Dr. Khan smiled, relief and excitement lighting her eyes. The three exchanged confident nods. Outside, construction cranes dotted the horizon, promise in motion. In that boardroom, vision took shape, a legacy born from one life, saved amid chaos. Weeks later, Ahmed joined a roll call of emergency personnel beneath the station's open bay doors. Recruits and veterans alike gathered in formation, uniforms crisp under incandescent bay lights. Ahmed cleared his throat. "We're launching the pilot EMT surgeon rapid response unit next shift." A murmur rippled through the group. He met each pair of eyes with steady calm. "Dr. Khan and I will ride with you." He gestured as she stepped forward in surgical scrubs. Patient Khan followed, stethoscope around his neck. "Life or death decisions belong to all of us," Ahmed said, voice carrying. The team straightened, resolve hardening like steel. Outside, thunderheads gathered on the horizon. Ahmed exhaled, heart steady. In that charged moment, chaos and calm prepared to move as one. That night, under a crescent moon, the rapid response unit raced toward a high-rise fire with reported entrapment. Sirens and winds howled as rain began to fall. Ahmed checked gear, then turned to Dr. Khan and patient Khan. "Stay close," he instructed. The elevator doors shuddered open on the 10th floor, heat and smoke pressing outward. Flames licked the hallway's far end. Ahmed led, radio crackling commands. Patient Khan delivered IV fluids, while Dr. Khan assessed airway compromise. Smoke stung their eyes, each breath a testament to training and trust. Ahmed's hand rested on a scorched banister as he guided them forward. Behind them, recruits followed in disciplined line. In that inferno's edge, past rescuer and survivor stood united, saving lives by shared courage and calm. At dawn's first light, the blaze was contained, survivors evacuated, and the unit gathered on a rooftop helipad. Ash drifted in pink sunrise glow as survivors embraced families below. Ahmed removed his helmet, shoulders sagging in relief. Dr. Khan and patient Khan joined him, eyes reflecting fatigue and triumph. The patient I'd rescued that night, a young mother, approached, tears streaking soot on her cheeks. She knelt before them. "You saved her life twice," she whispered. Ahmed placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Dr. Khan offered a gentle smile. Patient Khan bowed in gratitude. The city awakened beneath them, sirens fading to normalcy. In that final moment, savior, surgeon, and student stood as one, born of chaos, tempered by calm, bound forever by the lives they intertwine.